Watch this. No way!
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Cookie Jar Golf Podcast. I am Tom Mills and today I'm joined by James Bledge.
Hello, how are you all?
James Bledge is the links manager of Royal Liverpool Golf Club. That's a fairly new thing, isn't it, James?
Yes, that's me a year under my belt now.
Is it a year?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's gone quick, hasn't it?
Aye, just at the end of January I started, so it's absolutely flown by. We've had all 4 seasons proper this year and I've experienced a lot of it. It's been a roller coaster for sure.
This year's been like, I think I was reading, it's had one of the biggest swings in temperature. Like it was 40 degrees in the summer and there was obviously it was like minus 15, wasn't it, in the winter?
Yeah, I mean, we had a severe drought this year. Basically had no rain all summer, and then Mother Nature caught up with us in the autumn where we've had it's bucketed down non-stop. And we've also had frozen ground in early December, which is, it's not really something that I've been used to being on the Kent coast for 9 years, but coming up here, I think the guys were saying it doesn't really happen up here either. So
how does it not?
You could write off half of December for the work for us between frozen ground and illness. It's been a bit of a nightmare. So does that set you back, or is it like it doesn't grow either? Like it doesn't grow, so it doesn't really do. Yeah, well, I mean, ideally you'd want things to keep growing so you could swallow up all the top dressing we're trying to put on. But yeah, it set us back because we really wanted to get all the bunkers revetted before Christmas. That was our goal. And we've come back after Christmas, just leaving ourselves 12, of which the boys cracked on last week, done 6. So
how many have you done in total?
I think there's about 90 or something like that over 2 years. So we've done 50 this year.
Oh, wow.
50 revets this year, including 2 brand new bunkers on Open 16 and Open 1.
Is that how you refer to them now? Is there
yes, we're gonna from the 1st of April we're gonna try and speak purely in open speak. It's quite difficult.
That sounds like very 1984 open speak.
Yeah, well, it's for me being the newbie, it's difficult for me to kind of learn the routing and then be told that it's a different one for the open. So whenever we do R&A walks, we top in open speak, and with the team day to day we talk normal holes.
Yeah.
And to make things even more complicated, the irrigation system is pre-changes. So the 15th hole is actually the 13th, which is the 17th. Yeah. So try and understand that.
So tell us a little bit about you, Bledge. You moved up here last year. You were at Royal Cinque Ports.
Yep.
Before that. Tell us about... This hopefully will not be the first time, not be the last time you're on this podcast. And we want to do some things closer to the Open. But tell me about you. How did you get into this? How did you get into greenkeeping? And how have you ended up where you are now?
Firstly, though, before we go on, I'm a massive fan of the podcast. Really delighted to be asked on it. I got really into it during lockdown. And I think I've pretty much listened to all of them. So I get texts from you every now and again saying... I mean, you dive really deep. You find stuff from like episode 12 or 13. Yeah, I was on Trotty Golf the other day, the tailor-made guy, and he is fascinating because I'm really into my equipment and listening to him talk, and I've never heard anyone talk with as much passion.
About swing weights.
Yeah, exactly. He's great. So I would encourage everyone to go back and listen to that. But yeah, as of my career, you just got a quick snapshot?
Yeah, I mean, I know that... I think when we had John McLaughlin on, he said that you guys were in a similar cohort and went to a similar, like, you trained in the same place, right?
John and I met in 2013 or 12 at FTMI, which is Future Turf Managers Initiative, which is a high-end training course run by Jacobson, who make Moors, and Bigger, which is our association down in Ipswich. And John and I met there. And I was the first person to graduate through that and become a mentor, which I did for 4 years, and then I've passed that on to John now. So John's now a mentor, a far better one than me. But John's a very good friend of mine, and he's someone I massively respect in the industry and look up to. He's doing really pioneering things on the management side, which you listen to if you listen to the Cookie Jar podcast episode of him, which is fascinating. But before that, I started out as a lad, Dumfries Galloway Golf Club, which is a low-budget parkland course south of Scotland.
It's made it into Eclectic, I noticed.
Yes, it has, for a very good reason. And I was 8 years there, a club that I spent New Year's Day there this year. It's got such a buzz about the clubhouse, and it's very grassroots, and it's just cool. But it gave me a lot, and I try and give as much back to the place now if I can, because I do still love it. And then I travelled about a bit. I was in Micklegard Golf in Norway. It's a Robert Trent Jones course. Getting some life experience.
You worked out there?
Yeah. I was there for a season.
How was that?
It was cool. Yeah, I got some great life experience. Met some great people. Worked with Creeping Bent for the first time.
That's the grass, is it? Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so it's the Augusta grass. It's probably for a layman. And it can be cut very, very short, and it can run really, really fast. We used to get speeds of 14 there through the summer.
Really? Why is that then? What allows you to really take it?
I guess it's the way the grass is genetically modified, and a lot of these common modern cultivars. They can be crossbred, so they can tolerate close mowing. The leaf's quite fat, so it can still photosynthesize without being cut short, because you've still got enough leaf blade to create chlorophyll, make sugars and carbohydrate and stuff. So then you can be, you're cutting these greens at 2.5 mil.
Wow.
They're very, very short. Courses like
that's much lower than you'd cut a fescue, isn't it?
Yes, we usually go down 4 mil, 3.75 if you want to push them, which I'm totally all right about. But so Cretan Bent would be Queenwood, Grove, Wisley. I'm pretty sure Wisley. These are other kind of golf courses.
Are they a bit nappier, those?
Yes, you see a nap in them. The Queenwood Cretan Bent greens are the best greens I've seen for Cretan Bent. They're superb. Steve Richardson, fantastic.
Played there or just walked around?
Played it a few times, yes. Very lucky to play there. I'm good friends with Steve Richardson, who's the course manager there. Again, he's like John, pioneer when it comes to everything he does. He would be a fascinating guy to get on your podcast. But the golf badgers might steal him first.
Well, we haven't talked about golf badgers, so this is a new thing for you and Sam Cooper.
Yes.
Started probably
a couple of months ago, maybe
October-ish.
Yeah.
How did that come about? And are you enjoying it?
I think inspired by yourself, really. Me and Sam, before I came up here, I met Sam down at Deal, and he kind of encouraged me to join the team up here, and he's helped, and he's kind of been like a big brother for me since I come up here. And we always said we'd like to do something that was an offshoot from what you guys do, more the greenkeeping side of it and architecture, whereas you cover the full broad. And it would kind of like almost be like a sister podcast kind of thing. But yeah, so we've really enjoyed it. Some great guests on, and I've got some exciting stuff to come, but very new to the game. Not at this level yet. No, it's not. There's no level to get to, Jeff. Just keep talking. Just keep talking until people listen. But are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying chatting to people? I love it. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I really do. It's. I love talking about this industry. I love talking about this industry, and I love my job. So it's very easy. And the people that we've had on so far, I'm very good friends with, so it's been an easy chat.
Yeah. And you're trying to focus on the agronomy and the
it's more that kind of side of it. Like, we don't want to step on toes when it comes to, because you guys have got a lot of that stuff covered, but there's other stuff that we can cover would be pretty cool.
Okay.
But so going after working in Norway, I plittered about a little bit working on some links courses to get links experience. I did Gullane and Kingsbarns. Kingsbarns is a fantastic job. Loved it there.
Is that greenkeeping there?
Yes, I've always done the same. And then built a course in Sweden, PGA National in Sweden, Malmo, for Kyle Phillips.
Yeah.
And then came back to Britain and built G West, which, again, God, you could talk about that on a podcast its own.
Well, I don't know a huge amount about G West. That's the course that's next to
Gleneagles.
Gleneagles.
Yep. The West.
But doesn't get played?
Nah, it's not open yet. It's not open. It's Mahar Al Tajir, Highland Spring owner, richest man in Scotland, wanted to build a golf course to sell housing plots. 180 plots, going to sell for between 1 and 3 million, I reckon. And they had the crash, we had recession, then we had COVID, so the land's not worth it.
The course is there, good to go.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's David McClay Kidd design. Paul Kimber was the architect on site all the time. Beautiful fescue bent everywhere, heather faced bunkers. The design is impeccable, absolutely impeccable. And the clubhouse, £5 million build, £18 million clubhouse. It looks like an Arabian temple.
Wow.
It's stunning through areas through Scots pines, and it's a joy. I've played it a few times when I've jumped the fence. So is it just
kept as a golf course at the moment?
It's kept lightly. It's very basically kept. Just the grass is just cut. It's not brought forward. I guess they'll be waiting for. They can just sit in their hands here. It's not worth them opening it just now and losing all that money.
Yeah.
They need to open it at the product that they designed it at for the business plan. If it takes 10 years, the money they would lose through opening it early, they would lose more.
Yeah.
So just keep it ticking along and open it when the time's right. And I pray that hopefully one day the time is right, because I put my blood, sweat and tears into that place for 3 years, and it was tough work.
Was it?
Real tough work, yeah. So
why was it so tough?
Weather was really tough.
And are you building this, like shaping it?
Yeah, I was help finishing it and seeding it.
Yeah.
So the growing. The shaper was Connor Walsh, who you'll have heard of.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of work. Connor J. Walsh Golf, fantastic shaper, great dozer driver, great digger driver. I
only learnt recently there's a huge difference between shaping and finishing.
Yeah, so shaping can be. You'd usually have someone on to bulk everything off to start off with, and the shaper would be from stripping and pushing around and getting the shape, and the finishing would be if we're on like a little sand pro, like a little bunker rake with a front blade, or a drag mat on the back, getting fine shapes and greens. Everything there was done to a really super tight tolerance, so it's a well constructed course. A lot of drainage, a lot of money put into it. But
how does that? I mean, this is obviously. This is going to go off into a tangent like these things always do. But do they show you the plans and say it needs to look like this? How does that work in principle?
Yeah. Well, so David would have had a plan for every green, and you can actually see when he started getting criticism for the Castle Course greens being pretty crazy, the timeline on our greens started to soften off a little bit. So our 7th green was really, really crazy. Yet you go into the 8th and it would be a little bit less, because he would probably have maybe, I don't know, got the hint or whatever, but maybe he'd learned that maybe the Castle Course was just a little bit hardcore for this place, especially with the wind. But I might be out of line or out of place saying that, I'm not sure, but this is kind of the general feeling I got. But yeah, we'd have a sandbox in the office, which is a kind of little tray with sand, and we could shape it by that, and then we could show the shaper this is how we want it to look. Hand, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'll have some pictures somewhere that I can send you, but they've and then Paul Kimber, who was the on-site architect, would come along and do all the fine, like say, we need to raise that up a little bit in there. And I mean, the tolerance of the 300mm depth of root zone was to a couple of mil.
Really?
We would literally dip it down to the gravel layer with a spike, so you could hear it crunch, and there'd be a bit of tape on the spike, so we would know. And if we'd sitting right in the sand, +1 mil, +2 mil, -3 mil, just to get it all exactly the same.
Yeah.
And then it would rain that night, or it would be windy, and we'd be back to square one the next day. And this was common, but that's how tight they wanted this course built. And I mean, that would be in the top 100 in Britain without a shadow of a doubt if it was opened. It's so good. You look on Google Earth, you'll see it.
Yeah, well, apparently you can see it from Glen Eagles, can't you?
You can, yes, you can. The design, I mean, you could not have routed it better. You really couldn't. It makes the use of all the backdrops, and it's got great variation. The par threes are superb. Yeah, I mean, I'd be heartbroken if I lived my life and never played it once it was open, but it's just not looking like it just now.
Yeah.
But after G West, that's when I went down to Royal Cinque Ports, where I kind of, I guess, forged my future down there. I had loads of R&A experience and links experience and management, because I was course manager there for 7 years. And they had to kind of pull me away kicking and screaming, because I'm not very...
It feels like, I mean, we've been friends for a while now, and I talk to you. It feels like your heart is in Deal.
Yeah, I love the place. Like, it's great. You know, I love the members is the main thing. I mean, you had Paul Craven on my favourite podcast you've done. He's a great friend of mine. And all the guys down there, Tim Murphy, Ren's funny, James Leah's one of my best friends, the secretary. There's just so many super blokes down there, and girls as well, you know, and I loved the weather, and it was just such a club. And
they're so welcoming. I mean, that club motto, the Latin for befriend a stranger. It's
Oh, it's true.
Just so welcoming down there. Deal Week is it's a very, very special thing. You don't get that anywhere else.
We have the Outpost Club match in May, which is my favourite match of the year, which I was captain for 1 year. So
What's the premise? I don't know much about that. What's
so
the premise?
Outpost are a group of Americans that it's a club that's not belonging to a golf club, so it's like a travel club essentially.
Okay.
They've got their own tweed, they've got their own apparel. The Will Smith, who was a shaper, I think he worked with Doak actually at one point, possibly, but maybe not. But he's got this Outpost club together. He organises all the trips and goes on the trips, and obviously takes a fee for that. And one of the trips was the English one, which is all the Surrey Heathlands, the nice ones, and then Royal St George's Princes, Deal. And the Outpost members all fell in love with Deal so much that they all got membership.
Did they?
Yeah, so every year we have a match where they come across, and it's the most popular Outpost match. I think there's 700 members now.
Yeah.
So it's the most popular one. And the year I was captain for it, I rigged the draw. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry, Deal members, for saying this, but I rigged the draw so I could play with Kai Golby, who's his Doak shaper, and my mate Fraser could play with Zach Blair, because Fraser really wanted to play with Zach, and he was 6 up. Him and Craven were 6 up through 6 and got beat. They got humped. I think they lost every hole after that, but it was great to play with.
Was that when they did the trip recently? When
yes,
he was
it was exactly that. Yeah, exactly that. So,
he was checking out a load of stuff for the tree farm.
For the tree farm. Yeah. So I mean, it was great to play with Kai, because I wanted so many questions to ask him about shaping, because we were doing so much stuff during that time, and I just thought he was fascinating. The fact that his dad won the Masters, and he was such a great golfer as well, but a top bloke, and we've been in touch since. But Deal,
you did a podcast with him recently.
Well, Sam did. I was sick, but Sam did. Yeah, and it was really good. But it is a special place, and we can chat a little bit about it when we get onto this hole, hopefully. And I can tell you a funny story about it. But the lure of hosting an Open, being a wee bit closer at home, exploring a new area, and challenging myself more was too much to forgo. We're coming to Royal Liverpool. I had to give it a punt. I feel that I don't want to live my life having regrets.
Yeah.
And even, you know what, even if I did it and it didn't work out, then I feel a better person for it. But so far it's worked out well, and we're making good progress, and I enjoy it.
Is it what you're expecting?
I guess it pretty much is, yeah. It is. It's a very similar club to Deal. Although I was more part of the club down there, because my sheds were right at the club. Yeah. So I saw the members all the time, whereas at Hoylake we're a bit more removed from that.
Where are the sheds at Hoylake?
They're right on where I live, on the 7th hole, on the left hand side. So I just don't know as many of the members at Hoylake just now, and I've been playing a bit of golf and stuff and trying to remember names, you know. But it is a fantastic club. The drinking culture is on point, which I love. The same as Deal. Although, so that's pretty important. I mean, the black tie dinners we have at Hoylake are first class. I mean, there is no better clubhouse on the planet.
It's special,
as a fact. Yeah. It's so good. The way the guys and the girls serve you is impeccable. The food is unbelievable at J Cook's. It's superb. And the views from out the clubhouse are really good, and it's just inside at the decor. I mean, Simon the secretary,
and it's got a snooker room.
Yeah, the snooker room is brilliant, and I hammered the Badger on it the last time we were on there as well, which is good. But it's a very special place. I had both my interviews in the library, which is a jaw-dropping room, and the club room is special, and it's just, do you know, I've had a few members up from Dumfries Galloway Golf Club, and I was late coming up to meet them, and Jeremy, the captain, met them in the car park and said hello to them, and they said they were coming down to meet me, and he gave them a tour of the clubhouse. And that's very special for me, that they were looked after by Jeremy as if they were one of us. Yeah. And there's no reserve spaces in the car park. There's no snobbery whatsoever. No, there's none. No, you can wear trainers in the clubhouse, you know. It's not a snooty club in the slightest, and you're treated like a king in that place. So yeah, it's very special.
Is it different coming from Deal? We will get onto your Eclectic 18. We will do it. I just it's nice to ask silly questions sometimes. Is it different coming from Deal, where you're the master of your own destiny in a way, and you can do whatever you like with, obviously, as long as you don't ruin the course, to dealing with the R&A, having to get up to certain standards? does that come with its own challenges? Is that easy to deal with, or are you finding that transition fairly straightforward?
Well, I knew that when I took the job on. I mean, a lot of people said, look, Bledge, you wouldn't have the autonomy that you had at Deal, because at Deal I felt that I was part architect as well, because we put in a lot of these sand scrapes ourselves, or any greens extensions or tees, new tees. I would go to Martin Ebert and say, look, Martin, how do you think about doing this? And then we'd work on it together. So I'd be quite confident in saying that we helped with the team to help develop that course. Whereas here it's maybe a little bit different, because there's more people that have got a vested interest in it, i.e. the RNA. If you're looking to put scrapes in or new tees, does it work with the open routing? Does it work with the way we're getting people around the course? But yeah, it's just, I still have had a decent amount of autonomy here. I would never go out and just start doing stuff without asking. You put in a proposal about everything you want to do, like we put in the new scrapes at the 5th. You get that passed, you through Alistair Beggs, you through Matt Way, your green chairman, and then you talk to the RNA, and then there's more people, because you need to talk to Connor from the RNA, who gets all the traffic round to make sure that's not impeding him. Grandstands, if there's any sewerage going or water going in and out these areas, so there's more boxes to tick, but you can still get there, and everyone's still up for an idea at Hoylake, which is great. Nothing gets shot down.
What's the purpose of putting the scrapes in? Is that for the material, so you can use the sand for the new bunkers?
Quite a few reasons, basically. You're right with that, yeah. Mining material for sustainability, so you don't have to buy in sand, which is very expensive, and there's carbon footprint that comes with buying in sand, as well as budgetary. But you're also using sand that's already on the course. You're matching the specs, the particle size, which is good. So we've mined about 4,000 tons of sand that I've got all stocked up, and it's going on constantly. Which we can use in bunkers as well, top dressing and bunkers as well. But for me, one of the big things is getting rid of rank areas, juicy vegetation that might be low lying, that have got no ecological value whatsoever. You can turn them into sand areas. I mean, we've seen buzzards flying about these sand areas so far, because it's easier for them to find their prey. But as well, I mean, the 5th, for example, Open 7, the one we just put in a few months ago, the aesthetic appeal now to that from the back tee, when you're looking over the open, it's incredible. I mean, I've got a good blog that I do for the members called Shore Hill Golf. If anyone Googles it, you probably see Shore Hill Golf, Royal Liverpool. I've done some great before and afters of what it looked like before, and just horrible thick green lush areas where no one can find a ball. At Deal we did a great job on that, because we kept golf going. If you hit a snap hook on the 3rd, for example, with your second shot, it would be dead, and that's it, and you're getting frustrated because you want to walk back and you're holding up golf. But quite often you'd find your ball in the middle of the sand scrape. Keep golf going, and you're adding a new shot in as well, and that's pretty cool.
I was at Deal just before Christmas, and I've hit a rank shot off 17. Is that like shortish four? Hit a rank shot left down there into that sand scrape, and if that was any normal golf course that had rough, that would just be gone.
It's a beautiful sand scrape. That was.
But is it fair to say that the sand scrapes get a bad rap?
Some people think, it's a fashion thing, but I think you need to look beyond that. The sand scrape on 17 you're talking about, I built that during the Beast from the East when that came.
A Deal.
Yeah. So basically, when we're talking about autonomy, there was no plans for that. I jumped in the digger, took the digger out. It was a load of buckthorn in there. Ripped all the buckthorn out, dug a massive hole and got rid of it, and then we kept on pushing it and built this big sand scrape. I mean, it was too cold to work outside, so it was in a nice warm digger, happy as Larry, and it's one of the coolest sand scrapes ever now. It's great, and you could probably keep extending that.
Because in a way, I suppose, like you say, what you can do is you can start to eliminate grasses that shouldn't be there, or maintenance problems that these unnatural grasses cause.
You pull your Google Earth back into the 1910s, 20s, 30s, there's sand everywhere.
Yeah, the broken ground look.
Exactly. So I mean,
the old links courses.
Why not bring it back? I mean, if you let natural progression get in the way, it would end up being a forest in 200 years' time. So you really need to keep pulling stuff out.
Royal Liverpool would have trees.
You look around Hoylake, there's whips growing out of the ground everywhere. You've got to keep pulling them out. Let's make it the way it was, and plus it looks beautiful as well. That's the thing. There's a lot of guys do a really good job of it.
Well, I could talk to you about this forever, but we're like 25 minutes in and we haven't even started. So,
okay,
Bledge, we're going to look at your Eclectic 18. What I love about this is some of these like some of these choices are a little bit off the wall, but come with some really good stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to dig deep into it. You said you worked at. I think we're just going to crack through it because I think that's probably the best way to do it. You got past 72. It's not enormously long, 6,500
I'm
yards.
not that long. That's why.
No,
250 of the driver.
Well, you're a big vintage club guy, aren't you?
Yeah, nostalgic. Yeah.
You can't be hitting 300-yard bombs with these vintage vintage clubs. Gullane won.
Yes.
The first hole.
So
I love that hole, Gullane won.
You know what? There's loads of great first holes out there, but I really believe in a nice, easy start to your round. Let's just not.
But there's a million bunkers on that hole.
It is. But it's not like it's not a complete scorecard record like the first at Hoylake.
Yeah.
But it's just, going back to nostalgia, I love watching the Open when I was a kid, and I can still hear the noise of a ballata ball hitting a blade off the first at Troon, the first at Turnberry when the guys are hitting irons.
Yeah.
And for me, that was always a nice iron off the tee, quite often when it was burnt up. And it's just nice that you're in the town and you're playing out straight hole, ready to be completely destroyed after that. The minute you get to the top of the hill the second,
it gets offensive.
And the way the green sits is nice as well, and you've got that white kind of hut that Stuart Duff, the course manager, used to sit and work out, and it was just 302 yards. Let's go, perfect.
Do you think Gullane is the best golf town in the UK?
No, it could be. Yeah, it could be.
When you've got all those courses,
I know, and I love the fact the road goes through it as well.
Yeah, just go straight to the middle of it, and then you've obviously got Muirfield just down the road, Renaissance.
Cheapest chips to play there as well.
Loughness.
That's the thing. If you remember at Gullane, you get all three courses and the kids' course and a beautiful practice area. Connor Walsh did the practice area there. But my Gullane story is that the one of the greenkeepers told me once that he saw Clint Eastwood and Ronnie Corbett in Gullane Spa Shop, and Ronnie was carrying the basket. Clint was carrying the basket, sorry. Which is quite a funny thing to imagine.
I quite like Gullane with their kids course. They've got like a sign up that says adults only allowed under child supervision.
It's clever,
so
that, isn't
good.
it? Yeah, that's amazing.
It's so good. We're moving across to Northern Ireland. It's an interesting choice. It's a new hole. Well, it's been newly shaped. The second at Royal Portrush.
Yeah, I think Portrush is one of my absolute favourites. Graham Beat, the greenkeeper there, keeps the best turf. Amazing. And I think the reason why I kind of fell in love with this hole
what do you mean the best turf?
He keeps beautiful fescue bent greens. Well, more fescue in them, sorry. They're like 80%, 90% fescue. Yeah. It's firm, it's tight, it's fast, trimmed down to within an inch of its life around bunkers and everything. Everything rolls perfectly. The greens, complexes. It's just, I fell in love with Royal Portrush.
Yeah, it's a nice place, isn't it?
And the bunkering in that hole I thought was special. I love the bunker styles. For me, it's a 4-shot par 5. It's a long way, and there's danger all down it, and I love how it plays into that dune.
Perched up on the hill.
Yeah, it's a superb hole. Great complex. I mean, do you know, I could have chosen loads of different second holes. In fact, I could have done this 3 or 4 times over, but I wanted to stick with the first Eclectic 18 that came to my head. I didn't want to study it too much. Do you know, I thought, let's just put, because the first ideas you have when you jiggle them about, it's probably your best.
Yeah. And what did you do? Did you do it in order, or did you just kind of dot down your
I wrote loads of good first holes, loads of good seconds.
Is that how you did it?
Yeah, I think that's how I did it. Yeah.
I went about it by, I just picked sort of 5 holes that were like my favourite holes ever, put them down, and then worked around it. So you kind of, because sometimes you've got to move things about. It's
tough because I wanted to still keep it a good par, a good distance, and a good.
Well, you've done really well for like variety. You've got 4 5s, 4 3s. It looks like a proper scorecard. So
they're not all in this country either, which is cool.
Well, you're obviously fairly well travelled. You've obviously been playing golf since you were a little
I think
boy.
In my early teens.
Because you've got Torey Pines North. Tell me about Torey Pines.
So,
is it good?
Very privileged as a kid. Mum and Dad travelled a lot and took us on holiday with them, and we did an American trip, and they basically we lived in the hotel right beside the 18th at Torey Pines, and they buggered off during the day and left me to play golf there. It was dead safe for me to do it at that age. Yeah. They met the pro, and he gave me his range tokens and stuff, and one of the days I played with the female pro and 2 Japanese guys, and the third at Torey Pines is stunning. You're looking right over the Pacific, and there's big paragliders everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, the sea is unbelievable. It's the best tournament for me to watch, because I love the PGA Tour, and they have the Farmers there in February, I think, January, February, and it's the most stunning view. But I hit a 3-iron, so what is it, 185, but straight downhill, and I hit a 3-iron to an inch, and it was behind the hole, and it never went in. So that's why I do love that hole, and it's I've only ever played it. I've played it 3 times, I think, but still it sticks in my head. So this Eclectic 18 it's pretty much 50% nostalgia.
Is that something you look forward to when the PGA comes round?
It brings back memories every time I see it.
Do they play on the north or do they play on the south?
They play on both.
Do they?
Yeah.
The south is where they have the big things, isn't it?
And the south is also it's also got a third that's similar, but it's more downhill. Yeah.
What? There's a third course.
So the third hole in the south is the
right.
same. It's another. So you could put north or south. They're both incredible golf holes. But yeah,
Are they municipal out there?
Yes, it is municipal. You had to chain your golf bag to the fence to get a game. But what do you mean you
have to chain your golf bag to get a game?
They take a combo lock, and you chain. The locals will go the night before, and they'll put their golf bags on the fence. So they're all lined up, so you're guaranteed to get a tee time. That's what it was like when I was there. It's probably changed now.
Wow.
But yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's kind of like the equivalent of queuing at the Old, except you bag queues
with
for
a tent. No, it's super. I've got a really good photo of me when I was 12 or 13 beside the Torey Pines sign, and me a couple of years ago when I was lucky enough to go back with the Bernards delegation with work. So a young and an old Bledge, but it's superb golf. Well, if you take away the sea, it's probably quite a forgettable golf course. Yeah. But you add it back in, I mean, it's right on top of the cliff. Black beach below the world's most famous nudist beach, which I wasn't in when I was 13.
Right, one that makes it into to most people's Eclectic 18, the fourth.
Royal St George's.
We spend quite a bit of time down the Kent coast now for a few holes. The fourth. What is it that you like about it?
It's a ridiculous golf hole.
It is just silly. It is silly.
I adored the sleeper bunkers that used to be in there before it was made rough edged, because that for me again was the open. It was the.
Which ones were the sleeper face bunkers?
They were both sleeper faced.
Oh, were they?
The small one and the big one, and up in the dune had it. It was like a coffin shaped. But I think the sleepers were maybe becoming dangerous. They were falling in. They were coming back on themselves. But I don't know. I'd love to see that restored in sleepers in years' time. But
did you work closely with them when you were down there?
No, not really. No, I was. The three of us kind of knocked about together for a bit, and we'd shared machinery and ideas and stuff. But we'd always kind of go a walk around each other's golf courses, especially more at Prince's. But when Paul was doing the sleeper work with Martin Ebert, we went across and seen it happening.
Was that taking them out?
We wouldn't take them out, and they made it in a rough edge bunker, which everyone sees now. It's a shame, but it's I don't know. It could probably split its opinion. People quite like it the way it is now, but I thought that it was probably one of the most iconic bunkers on the planet. Yeah, ever, in fact. But I mean, going up to the green's amazing.
It's got the most ludicrous green.
It's tiny, isn't it? Really, I don't know how big the top layer is.
It might not be tiny in its entirety, maybe. But the only bit you can putt to is absolutely tiny.
It is. Yeah, it's a superb hole. There's some of the best stretches. I mean, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's just that's a great.
St George's amazing golf course. Yeah. It's superb. Lucky to have them beside each other.
And then you've gone for Prince's.
We've got them all in a row here, haven't we?
Yeah, you've gone for more.
Again, fifth at Prince's Dunes, beautiful sleeper bunker, playing out towards Royal St George's. I love the way the green sits,
just perched
diagonally, which was really nice. Great greens complex. Sean done a superb job.
That's the one where if you go
left
of the fairway, you can kind of be blind.
Yes, because that's a sleeper bunker that chalks you out there. I'm usually in the right hand side, rough edge bunkers, 3-shotter for me, but. And also what Sean had done is he'd shaved the area between the green and the tee down the banking to I don't know what he'd be cutting them, about 8 mil, 6 mil, 6, 7, 8 mil. So you can hit it long and bring it right back down to the green as well. So this is what's so great about greenkeepers. greenkeepers can totally change a golf course, the architecture, without an architect or anyone else getting involved, just by changing the way things are cut. I mean, that hole was completely changed when Sean done all that. It was awesome. Yeah, it's a super hole. I love Prince's. It's one of my favourite.
I must say, we went down there around Christmas time. Went down from Rob McGurk, hosted a whole bunch of people down there, and we were lucky enough to be down there. And the condition is absolutely off the scale.
Ah, it is.
They were running like so quick. I think we played it on December 23rd, 22nd, and the condition there was amazing.
It's Sean set up Aaron, who to take over from him, set him up a treat, and I just hope they go from strength to strength. They deserve every bit. The amount of time, effort, and money that they've put into that project.
Well, Rob's transformed the place.
Yeah, oh, definitely, without a doubt. Yeah, between Rob and Sean, it's been brilliant. They're a great family.
And then 6, we're back to your nearest,
my
and dearest.
beloved. So they say you're not a real deal member until you've hit the clubhouse, you've hit the beach, ball on the beach, and you've done a bar dive. So the 6 hole at Royal Cinque Ports, I done all 3 in one day. In the Outpost match years ago, I can go one better than hitting the clubhouse, which I've done loads anyway. But I put a golf ball through Cara Banks's car windscreen. So you've had Cara on, haven't you?
Cara's been on the podcast before, NPC host.
So I know her husband Ollie came out of the balcony. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, someone's put a ball through a windscreen. I love it when that happens. What car is it? Oh, it's that Golf down there. Oh, right, that's mine.
Yeah.
So when I was at Cara and Ollie's wedding, my place was placemat was signified by a Polaroid of a ball through her windscreen, which I've still got. So that was great. So then from there I went on the 6 hole, which we're talking about. Oh, what a stunning golf hole. That's always
the
go
sort
for
of
it.
drivable, but it's not drivable.
I've knocked it on 3 or 4 times, but it's been heavily downwind. Yeah, because I'm not long. But I've never eagled it, but I always go for it no matter what. A lot of people hit iron and lay up for a full shot.
I've only ever played that like the really boring way.
You've got to go for it. You've got to go for it. Go for the green, because if you're short left at the bottom of the slope, it's a putt up the hill. I just think it's a lot easier. But it's like it's not a big dog leg right, but it's like a dog leg right to a raised green, isn't it? Yeah, straight over a dune if you're going for it. Yeah. Then you can pretty much see the pin if it's at the back. And then left, just play down the fairway. But I mean, if you go for the green and pull it a little bit, then you're still putting up the slope. Yeah. And everything's cut tight around there, because we intentionally cut it even tighter around the back so we could have more. I mean, this is the hardest golf hole in final open qualifying for the stats.
Really?
What is it? How long is it?
323
yards. The hardest golf hole, because you had people there like Callum Shinkwin going for it all the time, and then trying to hit flop shots up when you need to keep the ball on the deck. There you've got to be hitting a baffy or a putter, whatever. But I've hit it on the beach that day of the Outpost match, so that's 2 of the deal members things chalked off.
Holy Trinity.
And then the third one, I was always going to do a bar dive. So
what's the bar dive?
So the bar dive, and we don't ever like put pictures of this in social media or anything. And, you know, it's a if you know you know thing. But we basically, when we've had too much to drink at the end of the night, and Paul Craven's done all his magic and hypnotised a few folk, which we've seen quite often, which is amazing. Then we'll get up on the bar, and it's a competition to see how far you can jump off the bar, and there'll be a row of guys either side that'll catch you and then chuck you up in the air. Hey. So lads, it's funny, but it's you're gonna have to get involved.
I think that's the thing about Cinque Ports, is it's an outstanding golf course, but it doesn't take itself too seriously.
No, not at all.
Which I think is where it absolutely nails it. I feel like it's more of a rugby club that play golf.
I think they say you can misbehave, but you've got to misbehave well, or misbehave like a gentleman. Yeah. You know, you don't, like, you can't take it too far because you'll soon get pulled in. I think it's the same with Hoylake. But it's things like that are great. So that's why I love that hole so much. It's a belter, and I look forward to playing every time.
You talked about cutting that area of 6 down tight to make that shot essentially more difficult, I suppose, that you have to putt it up on. I think one of the big transformations at Deal is the transitions you managed to put in between green and tee.
Mm-hmm.
It flows so wonderfully. Tell us about what you did there.
So, played Carnoustie years ago, and it was at the same time that we were redesigning the irrigation system at Deal. So, after playing there, I came back to Adrian Mortram, who was our irrigation designer. I says, Adrian, scrap the designs that we've done. We want to start again. We need to have this bit like Carnoustie so it flows between green and tee. So we need to design the whole system around that. So we need more heads in here, different kind of heads in these areas, and then I'll work this winter chopping these down, coring them, seeding them, fertilising them to bring them up to scratch. And that's exactly what we did. We flagged out with Adrian the areas where we want the heads to go, and we worked inside that, and 2 years later we've got the most beautiful transitions. And I kind of felt that I wanted to stand on the first tee and putt all the way around the course to the 18th green, which we weren't far off in the end.
What I think is interesting when you have a layout like that. So we went to the Netherlands recently, and we played a course called Kenema. And when we played at Kenema, they've just done a lot of work on putting in grass pathways and making the flow between green and tee better. And he said, you'll need a course map because we don't, there's no course furniture, there's no signage on the course. So we're like, okay. That's quite cool. I like the idea of not having signs everywhere. That's quite nice. Now, before we went out, I flew the drone around, and because it's so wonderfully grass pathed, I could trace the whole golf course without ever having seen it before. And I could fly 1, fly 2, fly 3, and the whole thing just flowed so beautifully, because it just tells you don't need a sign when. Kind of just leads you on to the next thing. I
think it's the most important thing, and Craig Gilholm, my predecessor, did the same at Hoylake before. If you look at Google Earth and you pull it back, it's all red shale paths, red stone paths, and I mean the Hoylake transitions are superb. Yeah, we've got a couple to finish off, but I mean it really is, it's first class, and I think that's modern golf. Hillside's done it well, John's doing it great. And I know that Sean will want to do it up at Birkdale next as well, and watch your space there. That's what he'll be all about. Yeah. He did it at Prince's, So
right, now going on to something I can't say.
Sur Sierre, Switzerland.
Tell me about it.
It has the Amiga Masters there.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to work there, just volunteering, and I was out there for 10 days. And one of the holes I was working on was this. It was the 7th, which is the single most stunning thing I've ever seen. Very short, playing towards God knows what mountain. At Crans, you've got a 360 view of mountains. Everything different. I remember getting off the train at Geneva and taking picture of these mountains, thinking, wow, but they were nothing compared to what we were going to see an hour later. And
is that the course is only playable like 6 months of the year?
Yeah, because of the snow. I mean, the ski lifts go right down through it. But I think the Masters is in August or September. Yeah. I mean, it is beautiful. The air is so thin that, I mean, these guys are, I mean, how long is the hole? 306 yards. They're hitting 5 woods.
I'm going to question this. You've got 306 yards par 3.
It's a 4, sorry.
Okay.
It is a 4. I've seen my first mistake. I never get through anything without making a mistake.
Well, that's good because we all learn from mistakes.
Oh, there we go. It's a par 73 now. We've got now.
That's fine. That's fine. We roll with the punches
here. But I mean, when you're on that green, you're looking down over the valley, and the valley literally is miles below you. It's so low below you, it's like a haze.
Is that the same course that Sevi did the shot through the trees?
Yes. Yeah. The 18th. Yeah. I was lucky enough that week to have a photography pass as well, so I could go inside the ropes and took pictures of Richie Ramsey, who's been on the podcast, and he won round there, so it was great to see a Scotsman win. Yeah. But the nightlife, it was so funny. Hector, who's the course manager, Spaniard, had said all of the motors, they all have a number plates on them. You can go, you can drive them up at the town, and we'd drive up the town right enough, and we'd see this Toro Ferrymore parked outside the nightclub, and Hector would be inside. It's so good. But a special week there. Stunning golf hole.
Yeah. Well, it's nice when you get these courses that probably, if you look at it from a sustainability point of view, shouldn't work. You know, something that's under snow for 6 months of the year, but they just make it work, and it's.
Oh, they do. They plenty of money up there. You know, there's no spa or spa shop or that in the high street. It's all Rolex, Omega.
Yeah,
you know, it's proper wealth. It's like Monaco.
We're going across back to England. We got Royal West Norfolk. Par 5. Is this par 5?
Yes. It's the one 5. Where obviously where the sea comes in and out, and I think I've managed to get that right as a 5. It's probably a 3, but it's it's a hole that can change with the tide. I was blown away by Royal West Norfolk.
It's a place I've yet to visit.
It's really, you'll love it. It's right up your street.
Yeah.
Everything. In fact, I know you well enough now to know that's going to be one of your new favourite places when you go there for a load of reasons.
We did something with the tie recently, and Sam had put on a list Royal West Norfolk, and I had to put a film together, and I didn't have any footage from Royal West Norfolk, but Sam Cooper did, and he sent it across. And when I saw the footage of it, I was like, this place looks sick. It's loads of sleeper face stuff, isn't it?
Everywhere, yeah.
And I was like, this place looks amazing.
It's proper old school. Like in the bar, the lockers surround the bar, and there's like 2 dogs lying sleeping at the fire, and nothing's modernised at all. Like the names in the guys' lockers are all faded, but you didn't change them, you know, because like you wouldn't put anything modern in there.
Yeah.
It's just leave it the way it is. It's meant to be like an old wrecked pub down Leith walk in Edinburgh. You know, it's not meant to be fancy. So that's really cool.
And you got one of the most iconic 9th holes in the whole world of golf. Yeah,
Royal County Down. So my friend Liam and I went out and played Royal County Down a few times in Portrush when we've been out in the trips, and we spent some special time at Royal County Down there just after lockdown. But just that backdrop of that hill, and it had been on fire the weeks previous, so it was all kind of black as well. But the bunker in at Royal County Down's first class, loads of bent grass in their greens. Is
that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yes, I love bent. I really do. We've got loads of bent in Hoylake. It's very different from your fescue, but as I've said before, complement each other like cheese and onion. You know, I'm not a monoculture guy. I like a bit of both. But at County Down, there's a majority of bent grass. You know, almost nappy. You can see kind of the change in them, but they're so good. The surfaces there are as good as I've seen anywhere. And I've actually got in touch with Gary, the first assistant there, and said, Gary, what's the secret? Tell me, because what are you putting on these things? Like, what are you putting on your fairways to make them shine like that?
Yeah, it does shine.
It's superb. I just a little bit of wet and in there. That's a terrible accent. I've screwed that. That was Southern Ireland, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, that was Northern. That was quite good.
Gary's a little bit more like that there, so it is. Like Jim McDonald out of Coronation Street.
Are you a big accent guy?
No. Let's forget that happened.
No, I think you do accents better than most people I know. But County Down's gorgeous.
No, it is beautiful.
And
Love
that 9th hole, it's almost too beautiful to play well.
Yeah.
Like, to get it over that hill and down onto the sort of valley where you need to be, and
you put a lot of pressure on yourself, don't you?
Yeah. There's some holes, I think, that are just, you stand on the tee box and it's just so breathtaking that you're like, I don't want to screw this hole up because it's just so good. But in some ways, if you walk it, you're equally.
I love
if you walk it.
I mean, I think with our job and stuff you do, the amount of courses we walk is not to play, as opposed to playing is pretty awesome as well. So I've walked it loads as well. It's just great. Love the place.
Now you've already included this course, but you've included it again for its halfway house.
I'd like to break a rule here because it's so good. But,
okay.
I mean,
the halfway house at Deal is not a halfway house. It's a halfway hut. Yeah,
it's a shipping container clad out, so it's freezing. It's freezing. There's no electricity. We ran it off gas bottles. Carol, who's the what does she call herself? The nutter in the hut, or the nut in the hut?
The nut in the hut. Yeah.
She's brilliant.
So that's been a recent transition. She loves it out in the hut, doesn't she?
Yeah, she loves it. That's her hut. You know, she gets dressed up as a little pixie or an elf at Christmas.
She was like a big Santa Claus last time I was there or something.
And I mean, like, there's no massive extensive menu. I guess there is for the alcohol, you know, your chicken Kiev or a whatever, Kummel and a silver bullet.
Yeah.
My friend Fraser loves to drink a silver bullet.
Chevrolet.
A Chevrolet, yeah. I don't know if I can say this story actually.
Well, now you have to.
When Sean and I played once, and Johnny in the hut had said, Bledge, you want to probably just sit in here for a bit because the guys in front of you have had 8 bottles of Heineken and 8 whiskey Max. And as we so we let them get ahead, and we caught them up when they were lying. One of them was lying beside the green on the 14th. But like boys come down from the city that are members for the weekend and just want to get away from it all and like really hit it hard. But just they'll have enough holes left to try and sober enough up so they are not seen from the clubhouse. But I always remember that. It was the funniest thing.
Well, that's the good thing about the Hut deal is it's not the furthest point, but it's far enough away that you can sober up by the time you get back.
That's what the deal members were meant to take me down to the Travellers Club for my leaving do, and the morning of said trip, Jenny got COVID, so we couldn't go. So Tim Murphy and Paul Craven took me out for a game of golf. We had a 2.5 hour hut stop. And I found out during
when the only
that
thing you can eat is a sausage roll.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it's quite.
I found out, I didn't know this, but Tim was taking beers to my team who were building the 9th bunkers at the time. So, yeah, health and safety. I've gone from there now, so I can say that.
Is it a good? I think the profession are struggling to get as many people into greenkeeping as perhaps they once had.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there's really good camaraderie in the profession of greenkeeping. Is that about right?
I would say so, yeah. We're all great friends, some of the best friends I've ever made in greenkeeping. And I'd like to think we're turning a corner to try and get people back in. Wages hopefully are starting to increase. I mean, golf courses should be thriving after COVID. You know, we all made good money through COVID and everything increased. I think we need to be positive about it and keep pushing our industry. And if I'd like to help as much as I can with that, like, and try and grow the industry from. It's such a great.
Is it difficult to get into?
Not necessarily, no. I've got 2 jobs up advertised just now, and possibly
do you need
looking in for an
experience to do
apprentice.
that?
I would be looking for someone who is a good person and would work well on the team. We'll teach them everything else. But
so
this
like,
case,
you don't need necessarily to have done a qualification. So.
Not necessarily, depending on what level you want to bring them in. And if I'm just bringing in a greenkeeper at the bottom level, it's all about your attitude. It's the most important thing. Being on time, and your attitude, and getting on well with the team, and being a hard worker. Everything else you can teach.
It's got some quality working hours.
I like getting up early. It's good, but the problem with that now is that's you for the rest of your life. You can't have a long lie ever.
Is that
5 o'clock every weekend.
I think that's because
because
you've got 2 kids as well. I think once you've had kids,
I know.
The lion's just gone anyway, isn't
That's
it?
Done.
We've digressed. Lytham 10.
Yeah,
I think the front 10 at Lytham, it's just some of the best holes ever. And 10 is just.
I mean,
gorgeous.
9's amazing, and then you get on to 10, but 8's amazing, 7's amazing. Yeah, Lytham played it last year for the first time, played it twice since. Adored it, absolutely adored it. I mean, that's a great hole, playing through that dune with the bunkers on the right. Just 10 is difficult because there's so many good 10th holes. I mean, I'd love to put the 10th at deal on. There's so many others, but obviously I had to get that in there. I mean, Lytham, high end track.
Yeah, really good. Sneaky good, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be because it's got all the pedigree that it's got, but it's just, I think it's got some of the finest bunkering.
You can't play around there without going in. I was in dozens and dozens of bunkers.
And they're just so, their effective size is just so large. They just swallow you up from everywhere.
Because of the
and
swales
the
around them.
8th, the 7th, maybe the long 5.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yep.
I mean, some of those bunkers are enormous.
Yeah.
They're absolutely massive.
I probably had to train there as well.
12, Southerness.
11, Sunningdale Old.
Oh, I missed out Sunningdale Old. Perhaps I thought it was so obvious.
We've got this is what James Day had mixed up with being the 10th, didn't he? Because of the halfway hut stop had confused him.
Yeah, it's after 10, isn't it? Yeah. So obviously 10th is the elevated.
10th's a beautiful, picturesque down the hill with it all in front of you. Halfway hut, sausage, and I agree with James, without bread, no carbs. Get your advantage on your playing partner, standing up there with a full belly.
Brown or red sauce?
I just have a sausage in its
just
own.
Eat the sausage.
I'm plain Jane.
Okay.
Just give me the sausage, and I'd probably have a beer.
Oh no, I do like the bread.
I'm not a big butter person, so stand up there and like James Day had said, I'll go for the green as well.
Because 11th is a short 4, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
With a little nook, like the green's just a little nookie.
Blind
right.
over a beautiful sand scrapey bunker. into the face, bunker on the left, plays a little bit to the right with some beautiful standalone Scots pine trees, rapid greens, and you just knock it down there and just try and a low lofted club and chip her up. Sunningdale Old is my favourite golf course of all time.
That's it, done.
I would say so. It's the best I've played. I mean, if I had to choose, if you were holding a knife to my throat, but I do love links golf, but I think because I've spent so much time on links, I think Sunningdale, every golf hole I could remember a year later after playing it for the first time. I could remember all the shots I played, which makes it special to me. Every golf hole is picturesque. You could photograph it from the tee, the green, everywhere, all around. Sometimes with links golf, you can be flat and you can sparse, you can lose some good photographs. It's harder to photograph, but Sunningdale Old is
gorgeous,
ridiculous.
Gorgeous place.
Yeah,
I think the Heathland golf in general, like, there's so much of a spotlight on links golf in the UK, and I think partly because it doesn't just, like, you don't only get links in the UK, but it's where the majority of the links are. And I think it's obviously wonderful. Links is wonderful golf, but the Heathland golf is...
Yeah, I love Heathland golf.
It's so good.
It's a great break for me to get off the links and get on the Heathlands. Yeah. And I've got quite a few left to tick off, so hopefully in the future. But great course.
I do apologise. Southerness 12.
Lucky enough to be a member at Southerness. I played some junior golf there and get back. Now that I'm living in Liverpool, I'm 3 hours from home, so when I do get a chance to go back, we play it every time, which is great. I'm very lucky to get back into the club. Actually, it's nice. But 12th hole, long hole, playing out to sea, and behind the 12th on the beach there was the first time I ever drove a car. I drove my mate Melvin's Fiat Panda, I think it was red, and we'd take it along with the lighthouse of Southerness and along the front. 17 maybe.
Oh, okay, so you were legal.
Yeah. He was the first out of us lot to pass his test. So hopefully he'll listen to this. Melvin, we call him Melvin. He works he's an oil tycoon in Houston. That's funny, but he'll have a laugh with that. But we used to do donuts and stuff on the beach. But now with natural progression, you can't get along the beach now. It's all rocks.
So is it?
I've no idea how that happened. But you used to be able to drive right the way along, and now it's all like screen, rocks and stuff. So, what a stunning golf hole. And it was so picturesque with Criffle Hill behind it and the heather. It's a cracker, it really is. If you make par on that hole, you walk off like a king. You used to always go up and be grey stuff all over it. What's that? Ashes. People would quite often scatter their ashes on it, members, because it was that famous a spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Southerness, high-end golf course.
We've got a few now. We've got a little short 3, Tralee. Some of the best par 3s I've played in Ireland. Tralee, really? Ballybunion, Lahinch. I mean, you're playing in over canyons the topography is nuts. Is it?
Especially in that hole, these huge big dunes. Yeah, quite a bit, yeah. I'd like to do more. I've done like down the west corner and obviously bits in Northern Ireland, but there's so much to discover. Maybe I can go on Sam's trip with him when he does the links on the road.
Do you think he's going to do a links in Ireland?
I think he should do, yeah. I'll go instead of Harriet if she doesn't want to go. She can stay here.
Walk the dogs.
Yeah.
And then your home club.
Yeah, Dumfries Galloway. So, again, for me, nostalgia. 14 was, this is old 14 before it changed, but it was, that's why I'm going to cheat here. It's essentially like 2 par 3s. You've got to play, the fairway's very, very kind of small to hit, and then you've got to play that with an iron, and then another shot, like playing another par 3 onto the green, which is wedged into the side of a hill. My Aunt Marlon and Uncle Ian used to live in the house at the bottom of the hill, so I used to always go and pick golf balls up from folk that tried to drive it in their garden. So whenever Mum and Dad used to go down to Aunt Marlon's, oh, can I run up the hill? I'd run up the hill and pick up all the balls, and I can still remember that. It still really excites me to think about that. But it's I can picture club championship finals of the guys that I used to look up to as a kid there, and that's why it's such a special golf hole.
It's nice to have included something, I think, that's more nostalgic than anything else. Was that a big influence on you getting into golf and working in golf, do you think?
Oh, definitely, yeah. That's what it's all about for me. Is I love memories. I'm a memory person. I love taking photos of everything, and like sometimes I'll just walk that course and just sit down and just take it in, because I can still hear the sounds and the noises and still remember stories of stuff that I've seen there or the way I felt at the time. I'm quite a deep person when it comes to that, and golf's given me that, and golf courses have given me that. And yeah, Dumfries and Galloway definitely has. It's just pure nostalgia.
This one isn't nostalgia, I don't think. It's just a worldie of the three. Didn't you used to work at Kingsbarns?
Yeah, I worked at Kingsbarns, yeah. So this is the reason why I love the 15th at Kingsbarns. Innes used to say, like, so if you were raking bunkers in the morning and you got the section where down by the 15th and you knew that the tide was in the night before and there was a load of Americans playing and the tide was out that morning, you could go down and just pick the balls off the beach like pearls. Pro V. There was some mornings you didn't have enough room in your pockets, you'd be bulging. But it plays so different from the front left if a pin was there to the back right.
Oh yeah.
I've never been near to getting hole in one there, but I imagine getting a hole in one there must be the best feeling in the world. It's the closest to playing Pebble Beach or Cypress Point as you'll ever get playing 15, 16 at Kingsbarns. Yeah. 12. Jeez, what a golf course.
Yeah, it's a wonderful golf course.
I was so privileged to work there. And I always knew it, I always looked forward to going into work and was never desperate to leave. Great place.
Royal Liverpool.
Yeah, our 16th hole, which is going to be the 18th in the Open.
Open 18, that's what we're calling it. 25-yard wide fairway with a internal out of bounds. I think internal out of bounds is a great thing. People slate it. People hate it. It really splits opinion.
Why not though? It's like, well,
it'd be a boring hole without it.
It would be. It wouldn't be the hole that it is. I'm more often out of bounds with my second shot there than I am in. But I love the way that the dog leg is. I mean, if you're needing a score on that last hole to win the Open, you've got to pipe it down there to the corner.
Well, now they've got the new tee, which is
much further back,
really far back.
Because McIlroy was hitting 5-iron in there, so it doesn't matter if you're hitting 5-iron in a par 4 or a par 5. It's a great golf hole. If you've got to hit a 5-iron, and so now if they've got to hit a 3 or a 4, it's going to be even better, or a rescue. Wow.
Well, it'd be nice to see. We had Martin Ebert on the podcast recently, and we talked about the lengthening of that hole. It'd be nice to see them having to challenge the out of bounds and go over it, as opposed to bullying your way past it and then just playing parallel to it. If they have to play over it a bit, that'll bring in a bit more.
Definitely, because it's going to be that much further back. Yeah, definitely. And so the team actually, as we speak, this week are revetting the bunkers on that hole, so that's the last one to get done.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful picture looking at the 3 bunkers on the left hand side of the green with the clubhouse in the background before the stands go up.
Yeah. It looks so different when the stands go up.
I know. Well, I don't know, but I've seen pictures.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like I've seen it on TV and I don't recognise it when I stand there. You know what I mean?
We've been quite a flat golf course. It's going to give it definition when the stands are up, and it'll make it what it is. Yep.
And then a couple of Celts to finish. Ballybunion, 17.
Yes.
Back-to-back 5, strong.
Another beautiful hole right down by the sea as you're playing back up, and I was really impressed with the condition of Ballybunion and just the feeling. The best Guinness and hot wings combo I've ever had as well. And the clubhouse is superb there as well, looking out to sea. And I went across with a good friend, Kevin Atkinson, Mark Chapman, Sam Smitherman, who's a pro at Walton Heath, and we had a super trip down there. And Ballybunion I just thought was superb. Really great. And that's where we got the idea from raking bunkers with brushes, with soft brooms, to get that really smooth face.
That's what you do it.
We did it Deal and then brought to Hoylake. Yeah, so
just the team or everybody?
Just the team, just to get that really compact bowl shape with a soft broom that you would sweep a shed floor with. Yeah, they do that at Ballybunion over the whole bunker, so they're all super bold and panned. Whereas we do it here, but we rake the middles just so the ball fluffs up a little bit more. Otherwise, it'd just be too tough because the sand here gets a bit firm.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ballybunion, different class, great golf course, fescue everywhere,
and the most magical finishing hole in possibly the world. You got a good story about playing the old course, don't you?
Yeah. So I've waited my whole life to play the old. And the morning of, we played 9 holes round Scots Craig, which is great, and I felt warmed up. Went hit loads of drivers on the range at St Andrews, thinking, and I piped it, and I was like, yeah, really confident. And Rob McGurk texted me saying, "Oh, I'm in St Andrews. I'll come and film your first tee shot." And I was like, right, okay, I'm feeling good. I can do a good one. And I just basically just stood up and just hit a straight necky top that just cleared the road. In fact, my right foot was on the road, and it was so windy as well. But I didn't manage to hit the green in 2. I just scraped off with a 5 at the first. On 17 I hit the hotel, like it was window bound for the minute it left the face, and on 18 I snap hooked it and just stayed in bounds. I was 7 over par for 1-7-18. I was 1 under for the rest, so I managed to get round the 6 over, which I was happy
like the
about.
occasion just completely eating you up.
It just ate me up, you know. It does that to you. I think it's the most incredible golf
is
course.
Like I mean, I suppose the burn can make it complex a little bit, but it shouldn't be that complex in golf.
If you got to get over that still, you know, and you've loads of people watching you.
And 18 really shouldn't be.
No, 18 should
hard.
be dead easy. But I mean, there's people out in the balconies watching you.
There's
and they're
always
booing
someone
you.
watching you on the Old, isn't
Yeah.
Like sometimes whenever I'm fortunate enough to go to St Andrews quite a bit, and whenever I'm there, if I've got a spare 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I'll just go watch people tee off down 1 and watch people come putt down 18. No,
it's the most amazing place. I've never played a golf course like it. Before going there, I remember having this argument with Tim Murphy, the deal member. He doesn't dig it as much, you know. He's like, "Oh, there's only 3 good holes," kind of thing, and I'm like, rubbish, absolutely. I thought 2 round to 16 were phenomenal.
Yeah,
great golf holes. I was lucky enough to go up and work shadow Sandy Reid this year at the Open, the courses manager of all courses at St Andrews, and just fell in love with the place even more. It's everything about it, the conditioning, the design, the layout, you know, just the feel. You know, when you're playing out of town, you're playing back into the town. Like, you know what's coming up. You know that, oh, I can't wait for that 17th tee shot. I can't wait to hit the hotel.
But 16's tough, 15's
yeah,
tough.
birdied 16. Had a really good birdie at 16, you know, and I'll always remember that. The rest of my life I'll remember that. I've only played
That's
the old
ones. That's a great
ones,
birdie at 16.
Yeah, I drive wedge to 10 feet and hold a putt. And then I was delighted, you know, and that wouldn't matter. So even we took caddies as well, which worth every penny.
Yeah,
taking a caddy. But I'd love to play the Old again. Hopefully I wouldn't let myself down as much as I did in the first few years.
Going around in 7 overs, not letting yourself down
six over, pal. 6 over.
Sorry.
But it's the scores that you can score around that course that you can.
Yeah. Well, I've only played it twice, and it was in the same trip. And the very first time I played it, I was 1 under gross through 10.
Nice.
And then we turned around, and I'd be surprised if I broke 90.
Aye.
It was howling down on the way out. So I was just like fine on the way out. And as soon as it turned around, it's like I'd never played golf before. But that's where the old course is brilliant.
It is. It's 1 in a million. It's funny, the guy we played with hold a huge putt for a 4 after snap hook shank, and then a thin to the back of the green, hold a putt the length of the green for a 4, and the cheer that went up from the balconies, all the students and people all around was amazing.
Yeah.
And then that's what makes it special.
Yeah, it's a truly special place. But Bledge, it's been an honour having you on the pod. I hope to get you on before the Open kicks off this year in Hoylake, and we'll chat about everything that goes on. But thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me. I've always wanted to come on, so it's been good fun doing the Eclectic 18.
Was it a difficult task, or was it?
I'd like to do another one, just for myself.
I think you could do loads. I was thinking about doing a series called the Nostalgic 18.
Yeah.
We're just like, it's all stories. It doesn't really matter about the...
Pretty much, that's where it comes from for me. I don't dive as deep into the architecture side of it as you've probably noticed. Mine's are more kind of stories or what rings a bell.
Yeah, but that's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's great. It was good fun. I really enjoyed it, and great catching up.
Bledge, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Watch this.